China's gold strategy, the silent plan to replace the US dollar, the beginning of a financial revolution. For decades, the US dollar has ruled the global economy, the universal language of trade, debt, and power. But today, that dominance is being quickly challenged. While most of the world debates inflation, cryptocurrencies, or AI, China has been executing a long-term plan to reshape how money works by linking its currency back to gold. Yes, gold, the ancient metals that was defined empires, is returning to the center of global finance. At this time, it's not Wall Street leading the chart, it's Beijing. Or the great gold accumulation over the past few years, China's central bank, the People's Bank of China, in this case, has become the largest buyer of gold in the world. While selling for of US Treasury bonds, China and its allies in the BRICS bloc, Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, have been buying tons of gold and storing it domestically. This measure is clear: reduce dependence on the US dollar and build an alternative global finance system that can be frozen or manipulated by Western sanctions. China's construction of the Shanghai Gold Exchange, now the biggest principal gold marketplace on earth, is part of that same strategy. They have been opened new vaults in Hong Kong and other BRICS nations, forming what is now called the Gold Corridor. This network allows countries holding Chinese yuan to exchange them directly for physical gold, a feature the US dollar lost a long ago. And that's key, because gold, unlike fiat currency, cannot be printed, frozen, or default on. White trust is the real currency. Trust nor paper is the foundation of any financial system. For decades, the world trusted the dollar because US treasuries were seen as the safest assets on the planet. But that trust cracked in 2022 when the United States froze over uh, 300 billion of dollars of Russia foreign reserves after the invasion of Ukraine. Regardless of one's politics, that decision sent a chilling signal to the rest of the world. And if your reserves are held in dollars, they can be taken away at any time. For emerging economies, that realization was enough. Central banks began with quietly diversifying away from the dollar and loading up on gold, first slowly then rapidly. Charts from Bloomberg and the World Gold Council show that China's official gold reserves have surged since 20, 2018, possibly exceeding uh, 5,000 tons when including hiding state holdings. Basel 3, the rule that changed everything. His Here's where things get technical but crucial. In July 2025, under the Basel III global banking rules, gold was upgraded to what's called a Tier 1 asset, meaning it now counts the same as cash or US treasuries on a bank's balance sheet. This may sound minor, but it's revolutionary. Banks can now treat gold as fully valuable, not a risky commodity. And the next potential step gold being upgraded again to HQLA, high quality liquid assets status. If that happens, gold will officially become as stable as collateral in the global financial system, for loans, trade, and repo markets, all without needing US dollars. That will completely redefine global liquidity and open the door of China's yuan to compete directly with the dollar in world trade. The BRICS Gold Corridor. At the recent BRICS Summit, China addressed a crucial question from developing countries. If we use your currency, how do we know our gold is safe? China's solu- China solutions was brilliant and strategic. And they built the Gold Corridor, a network of verified vaults across BRICS nations, all connected to the Shanghai Gold Exchange. Each gold bar's purity, serial number, and ownership can be tracked, almost like a physical blockchain. This decentralizes trust. Each country can verify and redeem its gold holding independently, reducing fears of manipulation or confiscation. To stabilize gold's value, China even proposed using a 200-day moving average to price it, minimizing volatility and speculation. This creates a predictable, stable system, the backbone for using gold as collateral in loans and trade finance. Financing the developing world without the IMF. Here's where the geopolitical implications explode. Under this new system, resource-rich but cash-poor nations, especially in Africa, could deposit their gold into the SGA and borrow Chinese yuan against to fund infrastructure projects, roads, power grids, airports. Essentially, China becomes the lender of last resort, bypassing the IMF and World Bank, both dominated by Western influence. This gold-backed yuan lending model gives China a massive soft power, funding development while building loyalty among emerging economies. It's a new form of economic diplomacy, a golden one. The US reacts, repatriating its gold. Interestingly, the United States seems to have noticed what's unfolding. In early 2024, the US began repatriating its gold reserve from London back to America sold, officially due to audits and trade risks, but likely because of their shift in the global gold lane. In the future of finance requires physical gold, not paper promise. Then custody becomes power. Whoever physically holds the gold controls this leverage in the next monetary era. What it means for the price of gold and Bitcoin. Financial guides like Bank of America now suggest that the ideal gold reserve ratio for central banks could rise from 20% to 30%, which implies $2 trillion of the new gold demand. Size gold supply can't be print. This could drive to historic highs over the next decade. But the story doesn't end with gold. As China bets on tangible assets, the US could respond with a technological countermeasure, leveraging stablecoins, digital dollars, or even Bitcoin as its next generation financial weapon. Think about it. Gold represents truth, Trust through time, physical, slow, stable. Bitcoin represents trust in energy and code. Digital, borderless, transparent. In a 21st century, we might see a duel between two financial philosophies: the gold-backed yuan system led by China and BRICS, and the digital dollar ecosystem led by the US and the West. A multipolar monetary future. For the first time in modern history, there may not be a single reserve currency. Instead, we could be entering a multi-monetary world where countries choose between gold-backed system or digital decentralized uh, ones. Both could still competing for trust, transparency, and global influence. And in that competition, the content of money itself evolves from paper and promises to collateral and code. And finally, the golden game. In the end, what China is doing is not simple buying gold. It is rebuilding trust in money, something the world lost long ago when currencies became pure debt. The implications are enormous. Interest rates, commodities, and even crypto markets will feel the shockwaves. Whether this shift takes 5 years or 15, one thing is certain. The foundation of global finance is being rewritten, and it is being written in gold. So while the West debates inflation and digital tokens, the East is laying the groundwork for a new financial order, one vote, one gold bar, one transaction at a time.